Yo, 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 what's going on, man? Today is December the 10th, 2022. It's your boy Chris, and we got another show, man. NBA ChrisBeCappinn show. Do me a favor if you can, hit the like button for me, retweet the show if you guys can. Coming off a frustrating 3 and 4 day yesterday, really was my Lakers, man. They're back on the top shelf, like the uncomfortable shoes. Not betting on those guys for the foreseeable future. I do kind of feel like just a quick Vin recap session. I do kind of feel like the refs were trying their best to kind of keep the game close yesterday. So getting AD in foul trouble takes him out of the flow, which is a big part of what the Lakers do to be successful. So I think they had a little home cooking, but neither here nor there. Lakers come all the way back. Actually, um, tied a game to go to overtime. So we had to push if you took the Lakers plus the 5, but uh, they scored 2 points in overtime. So late game execution, Lakers far as full game, yeah, they on the list that does not get played. But so that was frustrating. Of course, the under didn't cash either. You give up 30 points to Shake Milton. I'm sorry, to DeAnthony Milton. You can't cash a under there. Started off really, really well. Defense was there, and I took the Lakers because I thought that the defense would step up and play well. I thought Embiid would slow the pace down for the Philadelphia 76ers side. And it did initially, but then the Laker defense, which like I said, just can't be trusted on the road. So won't be betting the Lakers for a while. Gave them a shot. Those my guys, but they on the shelf for sure. So Lakers in the under didn't cash. Atlanta and Brooklyn, another really frustrating game. Felt like I capped it really, really well as far as taking the under in that one. Took the under 230. It goes over by, I think it went over by 4 points, 4 or 5 points, but it was still extremely, a lot more points scored on the Atlanta side than I thought Brooklyn would give up. So, really, really difficult one there for sure as well. That under didn't cash. So those were the three losses. What in the fourth one was Terry Rozier, who got in foul trouble early in the first quarter, picked up a foul, I think like 20 seconds into the game, then picked up his second, which foul trouble takes players out of their offensive rhythm. So he finished on the hook. He ended up coming back playing, well in the second half. Finished on the hook with his points and assists at 28 and a half. And the Mavs, that's probably the most frustrating push because that game should have been a win. Mavs can't hit free throws late. But shout out to the Bucks. Give them credit. They play well on the road in a hostile environment for sure. The Magic plus 8.5 was an easy cash yesterday. They won that game outright against Toronto. The Kings team total, shout out to my guy RC. We capped that one live the night before. I was going to take the under for the full game, which also would have cashed at 225, and then it dropped to 222. Of course, Donovan Mitchell and De'Aaron Fox got ruled out in that one, but even with the Kings winning that game, they still stayed under their team total yesterday of 109.5. That Cavs offense is not the greatest thing all the time, man, especially when you take a guy out like Donovan Mitchell. And then Anthony Davis did need overtime, but he did get to the 11.5 rebounds. A big part of needing the overtime was that, he was in foul trouble. Didn't play a lot of minutes in that first half. So uh like I said, 3, 4, and 1 day yesterday. So looking to kind of, of course, have a much better day today. And let's get into the slate for today. I do want to make mention to this as well. So it's 77 people in here right now. If you guys like, and maybe I don't know if I'm gonna do this or not, but if anybody wants to like share looks or angles on the game that they have for today, feel free to as well. Because I didn't completely cap the card. I set the time, thought I was gonna give myself enough time to get through all the games, but I didn't. So honestly, I'm gonna just, if you guys don't have anything, then it's gonna be extremely short show because I didn't get to all these games if I'm just being transparent and honest up front with you guys. So let's get into, I do got a couple plays that I like though, a couple things that I got in my bet slip that I haven't placed yet. We don't have any action today until I think it's, what did I say, 5:30, I want to say. Let me just make sure we don't have any injury news today. I don't think that we have anything today. Don't think I've seen anything from Underdog, but I haven't gotten into to the complete card for today. So we will go with what we got and give you guys looks if people got stuff that they want to share, or if it's just stuff that you guys want to talk out. Like, I'm here for that as well, because like I said, it'll be a shorter show today because I didn't get to all of these games. So first game up though, let's talk about the Spurs and the Heat game. That's gonna be the first game that we have today. Not a game that I'm really interested in betting in at all. The Spurs coming off the home win against the Houston Rockets. They had one day off. They're still without Base Diop. He's out. Jeremy Sokum still out. Jakob Pertl still out. Devin Vassell listed as questionable, and Zach Collins is also listed as questionable. So if they don't have Zach Collins and they don't have Jakob Pertl in this one, it's really, really difficult not to look to, the Heat in some form or fashion. One of the things I took into consideration is that the Spurs, they do play well in Miami. I know that they've, had a really poor team, really have had really better teams than they have this year, but they are 7-2-1 last 10 games in Miami specifically. And I think it's two things to mention with that. So the first thing is that, Popovich and Spoelstra, we know the history there, but also, just the Miami Heat, they haven't been able to cover spreads. If you look at the Miami Heat specifically this season, they're only 3-10 against the spread at home this season. 4-5-1 in their last 10. They just don't they just haven't been playing the defense to be able to cover these, big numbers. So if you're taking the Heat to cover this game, I think the total I got it at the spread at 11.5. I think it's up to 12 now on most books. Then you're asking the Heat to do something that they haven't done all season. I want to say, let me see if I don't know if I wrote that down or not. Um, Yeah, the Heat are they're 1-0 straight up, but just 0-1 against the spread. They lost. They beat the Hornets. They were 11-point favorites to the Hornets earlier this season. And they won that game outright, but they won by 5. So of course the San Antonio team is due for some regression, probably again. It's nice to win every now and then, but they're not trying to win. They're trying to get Victor Wembanyama. So I do think, looking at I don't trust the Miami Heat defense in this one. So, Spurs could come out here and score a bunch of points again, I do believe. So I didn't play anything officially. What I got in my notes is that the Heat have a bunch of guys on the probable list. Gabe Vincent is out. Dwayne Dedmon is listed as questionable on the Heat side. Uh, do, 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 do. Yeah, San Antonio, I talked about it. They're 1-9 against the spread their last 10 and straight up in their last 10 as well. The Spurs are 0-6 against the spread last 6 after scoring 100 points or more in their previous game. So they typically don't score a lot of points, in back-to-back games. They're 0-5 ATS, playing on one day's rest so far this season. But like I said, the Heat, 3-13 against the spread their last 17 home games. So no play for me officially on this one. I do think that a player, like if you're looking at player props, this Miami Heat team. I talked about it the other day when we took the team total over, when we took the full game total over against the Clippers. They just don't play as much defense. The Spurs team does struggle to score, but I do think that player props in this one, especially if you get Vassell maybe out. I think looking at Tyus Jones um, would be a good look in this one. Somebody that distributes the ball, somebody that can run the offense. So no official play for me in this one. Just kind of want to give you guys my notes in that one. Spurs and the Heat. Like I said, line move quickly because yesterday when I did the show, it was 10.5. Now I see it all the way up to 12. The total is coming down too. So I think people are, thinking that the Spurs will go back to kind of struggling on offense, which I could totally see in this one. But it also wouldn't surprise me if they score because Miami might, not come into this one totally locked in, especially after getting the win against the Clippers. So that's what I kind of got for you guys in the first game. Second game I want to talk about is the next one. So the Nets and the Pacers. We have so it opened at the Nets actually being a 1-point favorite. That line is now shifted to the Indiana Pacers -1 at some spots, -1.5 at some spots, -2. I see at Circa as well. Total in this one, 229.5. It hasn't really moved. So it's still about the same, 229, 229.5, depending on the book that you're looking at. KD is uncertain for this game. TJ Warren has already been ruled out. I think he played last night. That was one of the games that it was so many games going on last night. That was one of the games that I actually didn't pay too much attention to. But hold on. Yeah, make sure I got that right. Okay. Yeah, but one of the games I didn't pay too much attention to, Watanabe is on track to make his return today, and Ben Simmons is ruled out, playing on second night of a back-to-back for him. So Brooklyn, we talked about it yesterday. Yesterday was their seventh straight home game. So this will be their first road game since November 25th. That's 15 days since they played a road game. That last road game came against the Pacers. They lost that game 128 to 117. So you do get a revenge game here. But they are off back to back with travel as well. And it's a third game in 4 nights for the Nets. The Pacers, they're not in too much better of a situation. They're coming in off the win, and they actually covered last night against the shorthanded Washington Wizards without Bradley Beal. They won that game, I think, 121 to 111. So Pacers at home, short rest. This game interests me because I'm looking at those factors, and I actually played the Pacers. I played the Pacers on the money line probably about 2 hours ago. So a couple of trends that I was kind of looking at in this one. So since the start of the 2019 season, this is like a league wide trend, historical trend. Since the start of the 2019 season, teams who were previous home favorites, talking about the Brooklyn Nets, and they didn't cover because they didn't cover against the Atlanta Hawks last night. They didn't cover their previous spread, and they're away dogs because they are dogs now. They're away dogs in the next game on the second night of a back-to-back. Those teams are 264 and 703 in two spreads. 73% trend that says back the Pacers in this spot. And I think that's one of the big reasons that money's coming in on the Pacers today. Pacers are also on the second night of a back-to-back, and I'll get into them shortly. But another thing I looked at was teams that played at home on the first leg of a back-to-back and were away favorites on the second leg. They're 6-14 straight up this season specifically. So that's another, fade of the Brooklyn Nets in this spot. Teams playing on the second night of a back-to-back with travel from home to road specifically, and our away dogs are just 2-11 straight up and 5-8 against the spread, 8-5 to the over. That's a this season trend. So teams playing on the second leg of a back-to-back with travel from home to road and their away dogs, just 2-11 straight up. So that's why I played the Pacers money line. Also, same trend dating back to 2020. Away dogs 17-70 and just 36-50 and 1 against the spread in this spot. 80% and a 58% buy on spot for the Indiana Pacers today. Also, looking at that, the Nets, they're also just 2-4 against the spread on second night of a back-to-back this season so far. You look at this Pacers team. I talked about it. I think I talked about it yesterday. The Pacers suck off 1 day rest. I'm not 100% sure why. They're one of the worst teams in the league when they're playing off 1 day's rest. But back-to-backs, right? This was one of the things that I know everybody was on Golden State the other day. When the Pacers on the third night of a back-to-back, third game third game in 4 nights and a back-to-back spot. But one thing that I think a lot of people didn't take into consideration, myself either, is that the Pacers are 5-0 straight up and 4-1 against the spread when they're playing with no rest, and they didn't have to travel. So I like the Pacers today. It's not a heavy play for me, but I do think the Pacers win this game outright, and you can still get pretty good numbers. Circa, one of the sharpest books in the world, does have the Indiana Pacers listed as at 2 now, so that makes me feel a little better. I don't know if it necessarily means anything, but I do think without KD being there, uh, and we don't know if he's going to play, whether he plays or not. I just feel like I'm cool with fading the team off. 7 straight home games, playing on the second night of a back-to-back and a third and 4. KD and Kyrie both played heavy minutes last night too, so I did take the Pacers. I took the Pacers. I expect them to function well in their second night of a back-to-back with no travel at all versus the spot for the Nets. So that's what I got for you guys there. I'm official on the Pacers money line. Getting into this Clippers and Wizards game, not a game I'm really interested in. Clippers did open as 4-point favorites on the road in Washington. Not a spot that you really want to back them in as an away favorite. Total in this one was at 220.5. Right now, I'm seeing it at looked like it opened at 221.5. It's down to 220.5, 220. And the spread has gone up. It's moved in favor of the Clippers, 5.5 points. Now is what it is now. So a point and a half as well coming in that way. So Terrence Mann, I think he suffered a concussion, or at least was in the concussion protocols. What I saw, I didn't see it when I was watching that game the other night against the Miami Heat. Powell is also listed as out. He's not going to play. Reggie Jackson is going to rest, which means that Kawhi Leonard and PG should be in for this one. You get the Clippers coming off the loss to the Miami Heat. That was the second night of a back to back after they had lost against the Orlando Magic. So two straight losses. It should be a motivated spot for them. Third game in 4 nights as well. But you do get the Wizards, coming in. This is a third game in 4 nights for them as well. They played last night and got beat up, against the Indiana Pacers in Indiana. So 5 straight losses for the Wizards as well. This seems like a desperation spot for one of these teams. One of the reasons why I kind of lean towards, and I'm just kind of talking this out with y'all. One of the reasons why I kind of lean towards the Clippers in this spot is because for one, they're the more rested team. They probably got to DC before the Wizards got back last night. So you get the Wizards coming off, no rest, road home back to back. Clippers 5-1 ATS in their last 6 in Washington. One of the things I looked at was, just the minutes. Both Porzingis and Kyle Kuzma has to kind of carry this offense for the Washington Wizards. It really just relies on them, especially when you take away, a max contract like Bradley Beal. Both of those guys played heavy minutes last night because that game did go down to the wire, even though it was a 10-point loss. So they both played over 35 minutes last night. The Wizards don't necessarily function too bad on the second night of a back-to-back, though, but they haven't played this season, according to what I looked at. They haven't played a road home back-to-back. So away favorites laying between 5 and 8 points, because that's what the Clippers are doing today, against a home team with no rest. They're 0-3-1 on the season. That's a trend that kind of backs the Wizards. Historically, though, if you look back, dating back to last season, these teams are 29-6 straight up, 20-14-1 against the spread. So that's a 59% cover if you wanted the 59% cover rate if you wanted to take the Clippers here. And I think that's why the line is kind of moving in their favor. I don't trust the Clippers on the road as away favorites. I do think that with PG and Kawhi, I've talked about it before, those games typically go under. They have a tremendous hit rate when both PG and Kawhi are in, but I didn't play the total at all. One of the things I looked at was the Wizards. They're 3-0 to the over this season as home dogs. They're also 9-5 to the over after they've scored 112 points or less in their last game, 4-1 to the over in their last 5 games as well. Clippers, away favorites when the total is set at 220 or higher, they're 4-0 to the under. So they haven't had a total go over 220.5 this season. We know that they play extremely slow pace. The Wizards typically try to play whip pace, especially when they're at home as a dog. So no play officially for me. I hope what I gave you guys kind of help, as far as analysis wise. But no official play for me in that one. Like I said, don't trust the Clippers. Not laying 6 when it looks like they can barely just win. Also not wanting to back the Wizards, coming home on the road, home back-to-back without Bradley Beal, Kuzma, and Porzingis both played big minutes last night. So that's what I got for you guys there. Thunder and the Cavs, one of the games that I really didn't take a too deep of a dive into. Lou Dort is off the injury list. And this one opened at the Cavs actually laying 6.5. Let me get a banner up real quick. This one opened at the Cavs laying 6.5 points as a home favorite at the crib. Total in this one 225 is what it opened at. Is now down to 222. And I think you absolutely got to agree with the movement there. So like I said, Dort is off the injury list. Kevin Love is listed as questionable. He may make his return. Donovan Mitchell missed that game yesterday. He's out. Well, not out. He's questionable with that leg injury. And then Dean Wade is also still out. So OKC coming in off the loss to the Grizzlies the other day, they got smacked up. They're 9-5 on the road though against the spread so far this season. The Cavs coming this one off the upset loss last night to the Kings. They're 11-2 straight up at home and 10-2-1 against the spread at home as well. We kind of talked about that yesterday. Shout out to RC. We live capped that Kings team total that cash yesterday, even though they won the game. And I think that's a way that you could kind of look at this one again. Like I said, nothing official. I gotta get into this game just a tad bit more. One of the things I did look at though, the Thunder, they typically play well in Cleveland for whatever reason. They're 5-0 against the spread their last 5 meetings in Cleveland. They're also 5-2-1 their last 8 meetings overall. So you do get a more rested away favorite. I'm sorry, a more rested away dog with a Cavs team that could be shorthanded. I do think, in my estimation, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see what happens with the with the injury news. Don't know how. I don't know what happened with Donovan Mitchell. He looked real great when he was dunking on the Lakers and beating his chest and had the chain on in the background, I mean in the locker room after the game. So I'm not sure what happened to his foot. I don't know how much that's going to affect him, but I do think that both him and Kevin Love, how much they bring to the offensive end, I think that has to be taken into consideration, at least for me to handicap this game and feel comfortable, playing aside. So that's my, like I said, I'm waiting on some stuff and kind of, wanting to take a deeper dive into that game. Mavs and the Bulls, nothing for me at all. I didn't play this one. I do think that, the Mavs are coming off a very emotional loss last night where they, Luka played heavy minutes. So they're, home road back to back, probably a spot you don't want to take them on. But like I said, I didn't play this game. I typically don't play Bulls games, and I typically don't look to back the Bulls. So it looks like a bull spot for me, but like I said, nothing official for me in that one. I do want to take a deeper dive into that game, but like I said, I probably won't have anything official. I try to stay away from the Bulls games. And then that leads us to Celtics Warriors. Then we got Jazz Nuggets and the Timberwolves and the Blazers before we get up out of here. So real quick on this Celtics and Warriors game, I woke up this morning and I was capping this one, and the line started going crazy. It opened at 2.5 yet last night on most books anyway, and it started moving. When I woke up this morning, it was 3. The money line was minus 152. Last night when I went to sleep, it was minus 140, and and minus 142. My fault. And then looking at this game today, while I was handicapping it and I was looking towards the under, I know that the money continues to come in on the over. While I was handicapping the game, the spread I don't know if people just woke up and started betting Boston, but the spread moved all the way up to 4, and now it's come all the way back down to 2.5. I don't, necessarily look at the tickets or the money or none of that. I do know that Boston is going to be public today, for a lot of reasons. For one, I think people just, a lot of public bettors just blindly tailing them, and I don't think anything's wrong with that. They've probably been the most profitable team that you can blindly tail up to this point in the NBA in probably quite some time, unless were just blindly betting the Golden State Warriors when they went 72-10 a few years ago. So real quick, what I got on this game. So I did play the Celtics, minus 2.5. I got the line at minus 122. So notes on this one: Robert Williams, he is going to return soon, but he's not in for this game. Al Horford is going to remain out as well, health and safety protocol. The biggest injury, though, for me, I think, is Wiggins, right? So Wiggins is going to be out with that abductor. I think Coach Steve Kerr said he's going to be out for at least 2 more games. So he's going to miss this one and the next one for the Golden State Warriors. This is a ESPN game. I think it's ESPN, a nationally televised game this evening. Wiggins being out is going to put Kuminga into the lineup to be able to kind of slow down, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, whoever he ends up taking out of that matchup. I think that's going to be interesting. I also feel like, and I talked about this before, I played the Boston Celtics against the Phoenix Suns. This team, Jason Tatum alluded to it, they're just on a mission right now. And he said it, we're trying to do something that's a lot bigger than ourselves. Pretty sure they had this one circle, but honestly, it doesn't really matter, right? Like, they've defied all the odds. You can't really find a spot to, fade them in. They swept the Brooklyn Nets last year, so Brooklyn should have had that game circled this year. They go to Brooklyn, they win, they cover the spread. Second night of a back-to-back, they go to Toronto. Toronto's well rested. They smack Toronto. Doesn't matter. They get a day off. Third game in 4 nights, they go to Phoenix. Doesn't matter. That game's over with before halftime. The Celtics are 8-2. Last 10, both straight up and against the spread. 10-3 straight up. 8-5 ATS on the road so far this season. They have the number 2. They're the second offensive rated team on the road this season, and pretty much a tie with the Phoenix Suns. They're also the second best defensive rated team on the road, where they are plus 6.8 net rating, which makes them the best road team so far this season. The Warriors, on the other hand, are I don't want people to get it twisted. They are not that great of a road team, but this Warriors team plays really, really well at home. They're 11-2, straight up at home, 9-4 against the spread at the crib, 6-4 in their last 10 straight up and against the spread at home, 5-0 ATS in their last 5 following a straight up loss. But we know the Suns were also 7-0 against the spread following a straight up loss before their last game that was over with at the end of the first quarter. So this being the first time, this will be the first time all season that the Warriors will be home dogs. So I looked at the Warriors at home dogs as home dogs last year. They were 2-1 straight up and 3-0 against the spread. That still doesn't scare me off at all. Another thing I looked at was the Celtics. They are 3-1 straight up and against the spread this season when they're an away favorite and the line is between 1 and 3. So when they're supposed to win these games that are supposed to be really, really tight, they're 3-1. That loss came against the Cavaliers. They beat the Miami Heat on opening night with a similar line. They beat the Pelicans by 8 when they were 3-point favorites. They beat the Nets by 11 when they were 2.5-point favorites. The Celtics are 9-3 against the spread in their last 12 meetings in Golden State as well. They just play well there. So the look I was talking about as far as the under, and when I capped it, it was at 231.5. The money continues to come in on the over. Scary situation here. I couldn't talk anybody off of just staying off the total. But for me, I got a lot of, just looking at the trends, looking at the stats, a lot of things point for me towards the under. So what I got for you guys is this season, when the Celtics are 1 to 3 point road favorites, they're 3-1 to the under in that spot. Excuse me. Average amount of points in those games being 216. So that's a lot under, a nice little gap between the 237. Of course, those offensive teams weren't as good as the Golden State Warriors, specifically at home. But the Celtics are 3-0 to the under versus the West on the road this year as well. And these have been against really good offensive teams, the Grizzlies, the Pelicans, and the Suns. Those 3 games average out to be about 221. We know the Pelicans can score, we know the Grizzlies can score, and we know that the Suns can score. Probably 3 of the better offensive teams out west. Taking out the Golden State Warriors, of course. Last season, when the Warriors were home dogs, they were also 3-0 to the under, with the total being about 218 points in those 3 games. Then you look at the Warriors at home dating back to last season when they've been in like pretty close games, where what I looked at was the Warriors as, supposed to either win by 3 or they were getting 3 points as a dog. They were 5-0 to the under in that spot, average of 208 points. And that scenario has only happened one time this season. That was the game against the Cleveland Cavaliers after the Warriors were pretty rested, and Steve Kerr had them doing defensive slides after they came back from that East Coast trip. That game was 106-101. The Warriors are also 4-1 to the under at home versus the East this season, including 4 straight unders. And you look at those games against the Cavs, the Knicks, the Bulls, and the Pacers, they average out to about 219 points. Golden State ranks 4th defensively on the season at home and 5th overall last 10 games at home specifically as well. Looking at the Celtics, and this is the reason why I really like it, is the Celtics actually rank 2nd defensively on the road and over the last 10 games as well. So I like the under. The higher it gets, the more I like it. I hope it touched 240 so I could play it again. But I did play the under, and I waited till it got to 237. Also couldn't talk anybody. I really like it at 230. I played it at 235. Wouldn't talk anybody off the 237 number. I probably will end up playing it again. Smaller play, but I like the under in that one. Moving along to the Jazz and the Nuggets game and the Timberwolves and the Blazers game. Didn't really cap these ones too much. I did find a trend that says to back the Nuggets today. It was a pretty, I don't have it in front of me. I screenshotted it to send to the chat, but I didn't play it. The for me, the line has moved just a tad bit too much though. The way Denver played defense, I feel like it's extremely difficult to lay 8 points with them anywhere. I know Utah's on the second night of a back-to-back, with travel, but I'm not laying 8 points with Denver. That's probably not something I'm gonna do. The total in this one opened at 231, and of course, it's come up. We know Utah is one of the better offensive teams in the league, and Denver is one of the better offensive teams in the league as well. Denver is coming off Utah's coming in off the loss yesterday to Minnesota, and Denver is coming in off the win, the 1-point win with Jamal Murray hitting the game-winning 3-pointer. against the Portland Trailblazers with 1 day of rest as well. So I got to do some more work on this game. But like I said, if you guys want to share anything on this Jazz and Nuggets game, let me know. And then the Timberwolves and the Blazers game, another game. I still got to do a lot of work on that game as well. Timberwolves coming in off the win yesterday. They played a lot better without Cat and just having one big man in the game. Eubanks is listed as probable. I was going to say Kevin Winslow. Winslow is also listed as probable, and Josh Hart should be able to play in that game. So both of these teams are, as far as the Nuggets and the Blazers catching, the Jazz and the Timberwolves that both played against each other yesterday, catching them in a pretty good spot today. Typically, those away teams that played the day before that are traveling on the road, they don't typically play well. I don't have that stat in front of me, but I look at that query pretty frequently. So, like I said, I got some work to do as far as player props in those games between the Jazz and the Nuggets. I do think that Jokic probably gets whatever he wants. We know that the Jazz, if I'm just thinking out loud, the Jazz don't. They're one of the teams that give up the most points in the paint in the league. Looking at the Timberwolves and the Blazers game, I do expect a lot of points in that one. Total at 231, and it's continuing. Open at 230. It's up to 230. It's about the same, about 230 and a half, 231. So definitely want to, find a way. And I think, just going back real quick, the Nuggets, they're typically a fade against the point guard position. We saw Damian Lillard just go for 10 assists. So if Mike Conley plays in this one, looking at his assists is probably in play. He typically cashes that number. I'm not 100% sure, player prop wise what I'm gonna do, but I do want to find a few player props as well. Officially today, though, like I said, I played the Pacers on the money line, gave out the reason and analysis behind that. The Thunder and the Cavs, I still like the under in that spot as well. And the Golden State Warriors minus the 2.5 and the under 235, like it again at 237 as well. So hit the like button for me if you guys are watching. 32 minutes in the books. If y'all got looks, man, send me a request. Even if y'all just want to kind of talk the game out, if you sharp or you got a question about the game, we could talk the game out too. Derek said Boston beats Golden State today. I'm all over it. Scotty said Scotty said he liking the Bulls -2. The line is moving in favor of the Bulls. I can see it. What up, Sid? JR? Mavs L stung last night. Yeah, you had him on the money line, B Hunter. I took him on the +1, so it was a push for me, but they definitely should have won that game. Frustrating game there. Killed them last night with a $25 to $100 same game parlay in the Lakers game. Shout out to AD for missing. Okay. Kid named Coop, what's going on? Crazy thing is Terry PRA still cashed nearly, but not the points and assists. Yeah, he actually been rebounding the ball. I didn't think he rebounded the ball less yesterday, which is why I stayed off the rebounds. But I probably should have took the PRA, got cute and took the points and assists. And like I said, he got in foul trouble. Halliburton assists should come through since last night he didn't. I'm lying. They did. Yeah, they definitely did. He finished with 11, so he hit that 10.5 again last night. Celtics +31 is the only way I could look. Oh, shit. Oh, man, that's crazy. Yeah, but send me a request if you guys got anything, man. Markel says the prop game for the Warriors. First ABC game, first ABC night game of the year. That's what it's on, Artie. It isn't on ESPN. It's an ABC game. So, yeah. You stepping in front of the Celtics tonight? Nah, Steve, you must have got here late. I took the Celtics -2. I got it at -1, -120. -2.5. I got it at -122. 2.5 on the Celtics, -122. Conley assists. Yeah, I like that. Coop. I'm gonna break down a couple of these props. I honestly, the weekends can be weird. I think, the dogs typically cover on the weekend as well. But few plays that I gave you guys that I'm officially on. Pacers money line, the Warriors minus the 2.5. Took the under 235, and the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Cleveland Cavaliers under the 223 is what I got it at. So if nobody got looks, we're gonna get up out of here, man. But if y'all got questions or looks, like I said, send me a request. We can cut this thing short for sure. Going once. My guy Vaughn. Vaughn, what up, bro? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. You hear me good?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, she cleaned up. Yeah, man. So haven't had a chance to cap.
Oh, hold on for a second, Von. My fault. I saw that, Ski. I'm not on the Warriors minus 2.5. I'm on the Celtics minus 2.5. My apologies. Celtics minus 2.5. I got it at minus 122. Make sure I said that right. Celtics minus 2.5, minus 122 is what I got the number at. Go ahead, Von.
Yeah, man. So haven't had a chance to really, take a full look through. I would like to at these games so far. Couple teams on these home road back to backs. I don't. It'd be hard to play a side in those instances. Sometimes they come out motivated. Sometimes they don't. Luka typically isn't playing in the second night of back to back, so kind of hard to get behind the Mavs in any sense. Uncertain about KD. One thing I've already locked in is Jaylen Brown points. Had this one circled a long time ago, just because of how he was talking. About how that finals loss took. Him wearing them same shoes that he lost in. Like that. So, unit and a half on Jaylen Brown points. I think I might get there on his PRAs as well.
What'd you take it at, Von? What he at? 23.5, 24.5?
Oh, bro, you're a little low. I think it might be 25.5, 26.5. It's a little high. It's a little inflated. I think the books are expecting a high total for this Warriors and Celtics game. I don't necessarily see it that way. The over and under 237. Jaylen Brown is 26.5. So a little bit higher than usual. Over the last couple of weeks, they've actually been upping his line like a little bit more and more each game. Kind of gradually, because I remember we could get it at 23.5, like you said, 24.5.
Yeah, I ain't played this points in so long. I don't even know, bro.
I see him looking to just have an impact on the game. And I think you talked about this a couple of weeks ago, where when some of these players, are in these revenge spots, motivation spots, we always look at their points. When in fact, I think sometimes the better look is the PRA, because they're just looking to show that, they're looking to find ways to win the game. Typically, how you win the game is rebounding, assisting, and scoring as well. It's not just points.
Mm-hmm.
So all I've locked in so far is Jaylen Brown. I've also locked in Jeremy Grant 19.5. Just looking to attack this Minnesota team on the second night of a back-to-back. Like his matchup. So that's all I've locked in so far. Just, I like I said, I haven't had the chance to dig too deep. Of course, I'm always willing to take a look at this first quarter under, or just a way to attack the Pacers in the first quarter. I ended up taking the Wizards at plus 1.5 in that cash yesterday. So yeah, just not a lot to love so far on this board. This Heat and Spurs at 12. I think the first quarter is at like 3.5. I think the first half spread is at like 7.5. Just numbers a little too inflated. It's always hard to get behind the Clippers. I'm gonna start taking a closer look at John Wall, though. His assist has been cashing in. He's been getting up to double-digit assists, 9, 10, 11. Right now it's at 6.5. So just a couple spots I want to look at. I probably won't have no more than 4 or 5 plays today. We know how these weekends have been these last couple weekends, bro.
Okay. I appreciate you sharing the looks, man. I like him, bro. I can see him for sure. A kid named Coop, real quick. Kid named Coop said might take Jaylen Brown's points plus rebounds. Warriors give up the second most rebounds to shooting guards. Okay. Fading the Pacers in the first quarter is easy money, Steve said. And then shout out to my guy, DJ Props. DJ said, let's see if I can find it. DJ said he taking Tyler. I like this look. Tyler Hero over 2.5 threes. Spurs allow teams to shoot 42% from three in away games this season, which is the worst in the NBA. Hero shoots anywhere from 6 to 11 threes per game, and we only need half on the low end of cash. So great ladder spot for the boy, 4 at plus 250 and 5 at plus 600. I like that look a lot, DJ. I'm gonna write that down. Tyler Hero. They got a lot of guys though. I like attacking, this team when they don't have so many guys doing the same exact thing. But couldn't talk anybody off taking that. I love that look, DJ. Tyler Hero over 2.5 threes, potential ladder spot. Like I said, I do expect this Spurs defense to kind of regress back. They're not playing against the Houston Rockets no more as a favorite. So yeah, I like the look. Like the look a lot. Joey, what's going on, my guy? What up, Joey?
Hey, what's up, Chris?
What's up, dude? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. Sorry, I just let somebody inside.
Nah, you good. What's going on?
Short and sweet. I think Ski beat me to it if you just read his comment. But
I didn't.
Brooklyn Pacers. I've got the Pacers as 1-9 in their last 10 first quarters, and 2 of their first quarter losses on the year were actually versus Brooklyn. I understand there's going to be no Simmons and likely no KD, so I'm waiting because it might get even better than where it's at right now. But yeah, that's definitely going to be something that I'm going to have to get involved in. What happens when we take these teams and the opposing star goes out. I don't care. The Pacers are bad. I'll be taking the Nets in the first quarter today.
Nets in the first quarter. Okay. I can see that, Joey. I probably should have waited, but I saw the line moving, so I end up playing the Pacers on the money line earlier. I hope KD does play. I hope he does play in this game. I know it's the third game in 4 nights and a home road travel spot. But I don't think they play again until Tuesday. No, I think till Monday. So they get a little break. What they did wrong, Joey, was they struggled last night against a shorthanded Atlanta team, and KD and Kyrie had to play too many minutes last night. I think they both played like 35 minutes in a game where you got to put that version of the Atlanta Hawks team away early. So that they kind of shot themselves in the foot, knowing that they had a second night of a back-to-back. So I agree with you there. I think fading that team is definitely something that's been profitable, especially early in the spot. One of the things I looked at, Joey, I don't think he was in here. One of the things I looked at when I was that kind of brought me to that trend was of taking the Pacers today was that the Pacers, they're on the second night of a back-to-back too. They're actually the best team in the league playing on no rest. They're 5-0, straight up 4-1 against the spread, amongst other things. But that was one of the things I was looking at. So I played the Pacers for, money line for the full game, but we know that they typically, fall down early in the game for sure. So couldn't talk anybody off of that. Definitely couldn't talk anybody off of that. Let me get sports talk with what up, Vaughn? Okay.
Hey, so just real quick, I know I said it a couple of weeks ago. Start attacking the Pacers in the first quarter. Something we was doing with the Lakers earlier in the season. Just attacking the Pacers in the first quarter. One thing I've been doing is I've been playing the Pacers in the second quarter as well. I typically play it live. They've been so bad in the first quarter, and their second quarter, like spread or total, just looking to attack the Pacers in some way as opposed to fading them in the first. If you look at the Pacers, they're 4th in scoring in the second quarter. Last 3 games, they're scoring 36 in the second quarter. At home, that number is 30. Away, that number is 31.8. I'm on team rankings. But that's something that I've been playing. I haven't been giving it out because I typically take it live. But the Pacers are like they. It's a reason we're not fading them in the first half.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. As bad as they are in the first quarter, they typically dominate the second. Is what you're trying to say, Vaughn?
Yep, they make it right up for it in the second quarter because that's how I was playing the Lakers earlier in the year when they were struggling. They were struggling the first, come out, play their ass off in the second, going to the half down, 2 or 3, sometimes up 2 or 3. So, sometimes when we're looking to fade these teams in certain spots, it's also some spots to be able to attack them and as well.
Okay, now I like that, Vaughn. I think that's a solid look. If the game flow kind of stays the way that it typically is, that's one of those things like, it could be difficult to kind of understand in the moment, but it's something that could be a system play, almost like the Warriors third quarter. Like that's the way that the Pacers are functioning in the second quarter right now. So I understand what you're saying, Vaughn, and it's something that you probably want to, especially if they do go down early, they typically bounce back. I wouldn't necessarily blindly play it if they're winning already at the end of the first quarter. If for some reason that's happening, but I do understand the play and I can see it for sure. Coach No Jacket said, I got Maxi for a max play. It was 3 threes and 10 points for plus 846. Missed it by one shot. Average. Oh, I thought that was a play for today. My fault. I thought you were on Maxi today. Artie said locked in Tim Hardaway at 15 and a half points. Last 3 away games, he's cleared this number easily. Plus, he didn't have a great game last night, so it should be a bounce back. I could see Tim Hardaway coming back and because he definitely didn't show up last night. Let's see what else. Bitsy, no 515 show. That's the only show we having today. It's the only show I'm doing today. It'll probably be other shows, but not me. 77 figures said on Pacers minus 125. I think the Nets run out of gas after running and gunning with the Hawks. Yeah, I do too, which is why I played them. This isn't necessarily the greatest spot for the Pacers either, though. For me, it's just more so, like I said, the trend that I gave you guys to kind of back that spot for the Pacers, which was since the start of the 2019 season, teams who were a previous home favorite and didn't cover the spread in their previous game and then their away dogs in the next game of a second night of a back-to-back. The trend says a 73% trend says to fade them and back the Pacers. 220, 264 and 703 and 2 is that trend that says back the Pacers in this spot tonight. So I do think that the Nets probably run out of gas late in this one. I do think that if KD sits, you take Kyrie points to the moon though, because the Pacers can't guard anybody. So Kyrie should be due for. I would also, pivot off of Kyrie. We'll be looking at Seth. I think Seth probably plays well in this spot as well. Watanabe is back also, so couldn't talk anybody off those looks. Let me kick it to Cash real quick, and then I'm gonna kick it to my guy Josh. What's up, Cash? How you doing?
What's up, Chris? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
I got three prop plays today.
Okay.
Yesterday I won 3 to 1.
Okay.
So, today I have Tyler Hero over 26.5 points and rebounds. I believe he's hit that in the last 7 out of 10. I also have Shea over PRAs. He's hit that a lot too. He only went under like twice, I believe. He had 35, which he just missed, and then 26. By then he hit over that a bunch of times. And Jaylen Brown over PRAs also, because he's hit that in 70% out of the last 10. So I'm looking at back at those 3 right now. Those are my 3 picks right now.
So all of those PRAs, Cash, or
no?
You said Tyler Hero was points, assists, and rebounds, or just
no, Tyler Hero's points and rebounds.
Points and rebounds. Okay.
And Shea and Jaylen Brown are PRAs.
Shea. Okay, so Shea. Okay, got you. Over. Okay. Hey, best of luck, man. I hope you cash him. I could definitely see the game. A big game from Tyler Hero today. Just kind of scares me that they have all the guys in. I think even Jimmy Butler's, well, not even, but yeah, Jimmy Butler is also going to play. So I think Miami could be at full strength today. If they are, you got to look towards the team total over, even if you don't want to get involved in the spread. The number going to be a tad bit inflated, but I don't think that the Spurs slow them down or stop them, especially after coming off a win. So
I was also thinking about playing Devin Vassell also, because Devin Vassell's been really good to me, so I can't complain about that.
Devin Vassell, yeah, Devin Vassell is actually listed as he's listed as questionable right now, Cash. I don't know if he's going to play or not, man. Popovich get real janky with this lineup. That's one of the reasons why I didn't look too much into the game, because the Heat got so many guys listed as either probable or questionable. And then same thing with the Spurs. The Spurs have Devin Vassell on the questionable list and Zach Collins, I'm sorry, on the questionable list as well. So just kind of pay attention to that.
I might also fade some of those Heat players and play a couple of guys on the bench and just play a couple of PRAs or something, or points with the Spurs. And because I got Tyler Hero plus 100 right now, which is a huge steal.
The over 26.5 points plus rebounds?
Yeah, plus rebounds. Yeah, it's at plus 100 on points bet. But other than that, it's at like minus 115, minus 116.
Nice. Okay. Got it. Save a little money. Okay, I like it. Best of luck to you, Cash. I hope you cash it, bro.
Thank you. You too.
Absolutely. Josh, what's going on, my guy?
Hey, what's going on, Chris?
How you doing?
One play today.
What you got?
And it is Aaron Gordon over his threes today.
Okay.
The reason behind that is I'm going to play it straight. I'm going to ladder it to 3. It's hit in his last 5 out of 8. So just pure value right now. Getting over 1.5 plus 176 on FanDuel. And no Porter day, so I think it's a good look.
I do too. I would agree, especially being arrested. Home favorite typically bodes well for that. So love that look too, Josh. Aaron Gordon over 1.5 threes, take him up to 3. Like that look a lot. And then who? Let's see. They are getting the. They are getting the. Oh yeah, against the Jazz. Yeah, yeah. I like that look. Like that look a lot, Josh. Okay. Best of luck to you, Josh. Hope you cash it. Let me see if I can get let me keep going with a couple more requests. Kojo, can you hear me?
Yeah, here.
Oh, not connected. Kojo, don't look like it's gonna let me connect you. If you can get connected, I would love for you to be able to share your look. Been like that. Let me see if I can get you connected. Been like that. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, good.
You got a play you like
just
today?
Cashed a soccer play, so I went for the Celtics and Chicago Bulls money line parlay.
Parlay. What you get that at?
Like a personal book.
No. Not where. Like what line did you get when you parlayed those two teams together? Like what's your odds?
1.5. So I brought a half point for Chicago, and I brought 1.5 point for Celtics at 1.
Okay, and you parlayed them together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I played Marcus Smart PRA. What you think about that?
For me, it's difficult to try to pick one of those guys that gonna play well. I didn't even cap the player prop perspective because those games I could see him hitting, but I could also see any of those guys kind of stepping up. So to me, it's like you try to throw a dart to figure out. I think the most consistent thing has been Tatum rebounds, but he didn't even hit his rebounds in the last game, and I think his points as well. Everybody else just kind of fills a void. It could be a Marcus Smart day, it could be a Malcolm Brogdon day. I do think that one of the things that's interesting is how bad the Warriors are against big men. But this team with the Celtics don't really have a big man right now that's rim running or scoring a lot in the paint. Everybody just kind of standing around and shooting 3-pointers. So it's gonna be interesting for sure. Yeah, but yeah, I couldn't talk you off of it, man. I hope you cash it.
Last thing, bro. What you think about the first half Celtics?
I like, I like the Celtics first half. We know Golden State, if they struggle, it's typically, in the first half. Yeah, they typically play well. They play a lot better at home in the second half. But you do get them off a loss. Even though Steph and Draymond didn't play in that game, I think they probably got this one circle too, which is why Coach Kerr probably set them out in the last game so that they be well rested. But I think the lack of Andrew Wiggins is going to really hurt because their bench is kind of depleted. We also just got news that Mike Conley is out in this game. He's going to be resting today, which isn't surprising on the second night of a back-to-back. But yeah, I like the looks and I like the questions too, man.
Appreciate it, bro. Good luck to you too.
Absolutely, bro. Same to you. Same to you. What up, Vaughn?
Hey, real quick, man. What you think about John Wall coming back to DC tonight?
Oh, I didn't even think about that, Vaughn. I didn't think about that, bro. I think he's gonna play extremely hard. Let's say that, Vaughn. I think that DC used to belong to John Wall. I remember when he hit the shot and was standing on this on the scores table in the playoffs that year. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of emotion, Vaughn. Watching John Wall, he's played extremely hard this year. Wall's played hard. I think he's still got a ways to go with his jump shot. He's never been the greatest jump shooter, but he's streaky though. He can hit 4 in one game. The next game he might go 1 for 6. So he's gonna play hard. They gonna have to stop cut off the paint because if you see John Wall, he's still playing at 100 miles per hour. Like when I'm watching him play, and he's literally just trying to attack the rim every single time. So I do expect that, Vaughn. That's an interesting look because, and I'm glad you asked the question because Reggie Jackson out today too. he getting rest, and they might have did that on purpose. So I expect John Wall to kind of, ramp it up today. I would be looking at his props, Von.
Hey, look, so I'm with you on that, bro. I think I said it earlier. I was gonna take a look, and then I'm looking at the game. I'm like, oh shit, that's John Wall against the Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
So like him going back to DC, like you said, I like it even more with Reggie Jackson being out, and I think that, like you said, this might be a Ty Lue move. Like, I'm gonna let you go back and get your shit off against your home squad. So yeah, I just locked in John Wall assists at 6.5. I like you said, he's just been being aggressive. Like, surprisingly, he's been one of the more consistent Clippers. With everybody kind of being in and out of the lineup. So I like John Wall. I locked him in at 6.5. I'm gonna see what else I can find while I'm just looking through some notes and shit.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you even mentioning his name, Vaughn, because I had totally forgot about John Wall. That's an interesting angle for sure. I see his points. They got him all the way up to 15.5. That seemed a little high. Like, maybe the book's anticipating that too. But let me kick it to Jose. Jose, what's going on, my brother? How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Good morning. Hopefully everybody's doing well. I got nothing right now. I literally just woke up, saw your spaces up, so I wanted to jump in looking at some things right now, but I'll be listening. Appreciate you for sure.
Absolutely, bro. So look real quick, looking at John Wall, recent game log, 9 points, 8 assists in the game against the Miami Heat the other day. And then he went against Charlotte, he had 12 points and 12 assists. So he's cleared that assist number. I think that'll be the play, Vaughn. I think the points might be a tad bit too high. He is shooting the ball though. Eight field goal attempts in his last game, just 2 for 8 though. 4 for 13 in the game against Charlotte, 3 for 6 against Sacramento, 7 for 19 against the Utah Jazz. One of the things taken into consideration in this one too is like you really got to go in here and break down these games to see who was playing. It's been so many Clippers in and out of the lineup, this year, right? I don't think they've had a full healthy squad all year. Like, even in today's game, it's no, there is no Reggie Jackson, but Luke Kennard, Kawhi Leonard, PG, which both of those guys are playing today. I do feel like, and this is the part where I like to kind of talk it out. This is how we used to do the show. I do kind of feel like Kawhi points could be in play today. Just look, like, I haven't capped it at all, but looking at his points, I feel like he's only going to get better, the more time that he gets. You get the Wizards on the second night of a back-to-back. The Clippers also probably really want to win a game because they haven't won their last 2 games after, losing to the Orlando Magic and to the Miami Heat in back-to-back games. And Kawhi, Paul George plays a lot better. I mentioned this in the game against the Heat. Paul George plays a lot better without Kawhi in, when he's like 1A. When he's 1B, he doesn't play as well. So for me, seeing Kawhi points at, I know he hasn't, necessarily cleared them, but 17.5 feels a tad bit low, especially getting the Clippers on the second night of a back-to-back. Let me see what Kawhi game log looked like. So Kawhi had 14 points in his last game. He only shot 4 for 15. He had 16 points in the game against Charlotte, shot 7 for 15. Looking at this, this Washington Wizards team, I don't think that they have anyone that can match up with him. I think he's going to be ultra aggressive. Minutes going back up. Last 2 games, he's went, close, 28 minutes and 30 minutes. So to me, Kawhi points just seem a tad bit too low. But then again, the Clippers do like sharing the ball. Josh, I said Josh. Joey, Josh. Yeah, Joey, Josh. Y'all got any, what y'all think? What y'all think about Kawhi? Anybody got any thoughts on Kawhi today? If not, that's cool.
You gotta show me for me to play him.
Okay, I can respect that.
I would agree with everything that you were saying. It's just, I it's hard to trust him for me. Just because of the fact that he doesn't even play. But I did bet the Clippers in that Hornets game, so I was actually watching it. When he's out there, there's no denying how good that he is, how great that he is. It's just a matter of, I don't really trust his attitude or his mental or anything. I don't know when he's going to really give it a go. But I would agree with you. They do need to win. Someone's going to have to step up. That's how I'd be looking at Wall and Kawhi.
Yeah, I like the Wall assist look. I appreciate that as well, Joey. What's up, Vaughn? You want to add something to that?
Hey, yeah, I agree with what both of them said. Like I said, I like Kawhi. The other night before he got ruled out, his rebound line was at 4.5, and I had already took it, but they ruled him out, so it was void. The last couple times he's played, he looks okay. It looks like the team holding him back. You playing 4 or 5 minutes and then they sub you out. It's almost like they play him like he's in foul trouble. He's not able to get into a rhythm. Is what I see the few times I watch the Clippers. The Clippers is not somebody I watch often. Kevin Durant just
KD, I was about to say KD just got ruled out.
But yeah, me personally, I really liked his line today. I think I'll be willing to at least take a deeper dive at it. To me, right now, that's something I'll look at as a lane, or just put a star beside it. Is something I want to go back and double check. But that's something I can definitely see myself end up getting there with. So yeah, I'm with you on that, bro. I think that line at 16.5.
Damn, they rule everybody out. I don't know if y'all saw that or not. You see that, man?
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. So the Nets ready to run out there with the G League team.
They about to get the 36ers out there to play with them tonight. Shams just reported the Nets will be without KD, Kyrie, Nicholas Claxton, Seth, Ben Simmons, TJ Warren, Royce O'Neal, Joe Hare. Who else do they have? They got Sumner. But they got who else do they not, like, in all seriousness, who else do they have? They got Sumner, they got Watanabe, they got damn. Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. Okay.
I got another look for you, because you guys talking about the points and the assists, and I think what Devon just said it. If you like both of those, I don't know if your book has it, but my book has John Wall points and assists 22.5 over -104. If you combine that and you think you can hit it, that's not a bad play there. I'm not touching the points. I'm with you guys though, man. Everything I'm reading, everything I'm hearing, everything that I'm just watching about him coming back to play, and then obviously playing against Washington and the non-minutes restrictions and all that stuff. I don't see him not getting 7 assists tonight. I think he can possibly get there with no problem, if I'm being honest with you. I think he's going to ball out, and I think he's not even really going to care about scoring, if I'm being honest. I think he's going to be more about facilitating today and show that he's still a little bit of that showtime on his side, if that makes sense, because he always had that flash, that pizzazz. He knows how to play. He likes to pass the ball, so I don't know. If I'm going to bet it, I like the over on the assist, the 6.5. I got it at -113.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jose. I'll be off the points too. I think, having PG and Kawhi, he might not necessarily, have to score as many, but I do like. That's a smart look. Shout out to N. N just DM me, said Cam Thomas might drop 30 tonight. I forgot about Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas to go get a hit. He can score a bucket. We gotta look at Cam Thomas when them props come available. I'm writing that name down too, man. This is how the show used to be, man. We used to do the show like this all the time. Cam Thomas, gotta be looking at Cam Thomas props tonight for sure. They probably have him set at 25.5.
Cam Thomas lines. Earlier this year when Kyrie was out, when Seth Curry was out, it was a lot of times we won't get his lines, and then live they wouldn't even let you necessarily live bet it. So I'm just hoping and praying they give us his lines.
Yeah, Vaughn. They listen to the spaces. Go ahead, Joy. My fault.
I was just gonna say I agree. I was thinking about it too, but sometimes they don't even post that shit because they know what's about to happen.
Yeah, that's a fact. They probably set it at 25.5 or something crazy like that. Let's see. Okay. Anything else? Kind of.
So check this out. My book. I looked at 2 of my books here in Vegas. Right. Neither of them have any player props at all for that Brooklyn game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're gonna be gone right now. Yeah, they're not gonna be up.
They don't want to put anything up.
Yeah, they're not gonna have them up try till about 10 minutes before the game. Cam Thomas might light it up tonight. So a lot of people on Cam Thomas. A kid named Coop said Wall double official for me. Okay. The double 500. Ooh, if you think you're getting 10 assists. Yo, Chris, what do you think about the Warriors and Celtics? Each half over 109.5. I do not like that play at all, Patrick, because I'm playing the under. So I mean, I can see it, but I think both of these defenses are a tad bit underrated. You see the stars, you see Jason Tatum, you see Klay Thompson, you see Jaylen Brown, and you think a lot of points, but Klay struggled last year in the finals against this team. And granted, he's a lot farther along in his recovery, but the Celtics play really good defense. I talked about them being second rated defensively on the road. Golden State also plays really good defense, a lot better defense at home. So I wouldn't be I'm not taking any overs in that game at all. I'm just strictly on the Celtics minus the 2.5 and the total under the 235, and I'm probably gonna play it again at 237. So real quick, I wanted to look at the not the Brooklyn Nets. I'm sorry, the Los Angeles Clippers, which you really can't get a accurate depiction. But I wanted to look at the Clippers potential assists just to see what John Wall has been doing specifically recently. So like last 10 games, potential assist opportunities for Mr. Wall, and it looks like he is third on the team in passes made at 40.9. Reggie Jackson is actually first. Assists, he is second on the team behind Paul George, 5.9. And his potential assists, not as high as I'd like it to be, only 10.5, but he is leading the team in that category. So last 10 games, John Wall has played in 8 of them. He is averaging 6 assists with 10.5 potential assists. 15.7 assist points created, and adjusted assists is 7.3. So, yeah, that's not a bad look. I like the Wall assist look. Appreciate that, Vaughn. Appreciate that look for sure. Anybody else got any thoughts or any comments they want to make on the slate? We'll get more injury news, of course, later, but this is the only show I'm doing today. Kojo, can you hear me? Hold on for 1 second, Vaughn. Let me see if I can get Kojo up. Kojo, can you hear me? I don't think it's gonna let you connect, Kojo. All right, cool. Let me kick it back to Vaughn. What's up, Vaughn? What you got?
So with all of those players being ruled out for the Nets, do you see a boost of any kind for anybody for the Pacers at all?
What you mean, like as far as like an advantage?
Yeah, like just any matchup. I mean, it's kind of hard to say because we don't necessarily know who's playing, but is there anybody coming to mind you'll take a closer look at with so many people being ruled out?
Yeah, Halliburton assists probably at 30 against that version of the Brooklyn Nets defense. This dude should go crazy tonight. What's up, Joey?
Yo, so not really for today. Quick look ahead for tomorrow. And first, I'll just preface with, if anyone in here is from New Orleans, I apologize. Before the season, I wasn't completely sold on the Pelicans, so I apologize. But question, where do you gauge this line? Where do you think this line will be at tomorrow, Sunday, Suns and Pelicans? What do you think is going to be looking like tomorrow?
So let's see. A lot of things to kind of take into, well, not a lot of things, but I think some things to kind of take into consideration, Joy, is either one of these teams having to play Monday?
Let me take a quick.
Yeah,
look.
that's what.
I'll pull that up.
Yeah. Now I wanted to look at that too.
Neither team plays on Monday.
Neither team plays on Monday. Okay, so
neither.
So the Pelicans don't play again until the 13th against Utah, and the Suns don't play again until the 13th against Houston. Okay, so that line opened at 1.5, right, Joey? Yesterday.
Yes.
In favor of the Pelicans, and then money came in on the Suns, and it closed at what, 1?
I think it closed 1.5 the opposite direction.
Okay. So
Suns is the 1.5.
Okay, so yeah, so I see a 1. So it's going to be another really, really close spread, I think, Joey. I think it's going to be extremely close because the site doesn't change, right? It's still in New Orleans, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, still in New Orleans. So I think it looks like I see New Orleans as a 1 point. The line isn't out. I'm looking at the one from yesterday, of course. I see New Orleans catching 1 point is what the website I'm on right now had the line closing at. So I think New Orleans will, and also, do we get anybody back, Joey? Like, do we get let me get Greg up here. Do we get Brandon Ingram back? Does Herb Jones come back? Do we know?
So I think it's going to be the same rosters that was just playing. But my main question was, because if it was any other team, we'd be looking the other way than the Pelicans, I think. But and if there's any Suns fans in here, I don't even care. But the Suns are bitch made. I don't think that they have it in them to stick up for themselves after what Zion did. But that's what's in my head right now is like are the Suns going to have any extra motivation, or do we think the Pelicans are going to stay motivated? Because if it comes out at a 1 again, I think I can only look at New Orleans again. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I was trying to chop it up about. That's what I'm thinking for that game.
So full game, Joy, or like would you look for New Orleans to come out here? Like, would you look for Phoenix to like at least be able to react and like cover the first quarter, or nah?
If anything, it'd be Suns early, in the first quarter.
So that's what so I know we was chopping it up last night, Joy. That's the first thing I thought about when I saw Zion do the dunk, and then all of the reaction between Alvarado and CP3 yesterday is like, yo, if Phoenix got any, like you said, if Phoenix got anything left. Like if they can do anything, you gotta at least be able to come out and cover the first quarter, right? Like we know the Pelicans typically start the game slow. They're gonna be looking for it as well. But I think I'm looking right now. I see Herb listed as questionable for that game, and I see BI still out indefinitely. So it don't mean that he can't get upgraded to to questionable or probable or whatever the case might be. But yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one, Joy. I do feel like I kind of gotta have a play in that one because they really hate each other. Even if you listen to what Zion said, he was like, "Yo, that's the team that kicked my team out last year." So he didn't really care. When I was watching the game last night, I was watching it with the Phoenix Suns broadcasters, and of course they were pissed off that he don't. That's just not how you play the game. But Zion didn't care. He was at the crib, man.
They had no problem with CP3 trying to make the meaningless layup. Hey, hold on, one sec, Jose, one sec. I just have one more thing. I wish that the Suns almost had Jay Crowder still in. Let me know throughout the day if you think of anything. I mean, there's possible, like if Jay Crowder was in, I would be taking his unders tomorrow because if he was in, he's getting thrown out that game immediately.
Yeah.
If there's anyone else on the Suns that's like a hothead or something, or even New Orleans, that might be something to look at. Possible foul trouble early, technical early.
Yeah.
Someone might get thrown out. So.
Yeah. They now that you mention his name, Joy, they do kind of miss that. Like you can tell they kind of lack that, like that, that guy, right? Like that Draymond, that Patrick Beverly, that Jay Crowder. They don't really have that now. And I still don't think that they're the best version of themselves right now, especially without Cam Johnson being there. If they trade Jay Crowder, they'll get, they should be able to get something back. And of course, they still got, some other injuries as well. I know Dwayne Washington Jr., who can light it up, sometimes he didn't play in that game either, just a bench piece. But yeah, the Suns not better than the Pelicans though. Like they lost last night without Herb Jones and Brandon Ingram. So, the Pelicans weren't even the best version of themselves. So yeah, I'm with you there, Joy. I'm with you on that for sure. Kick it back to Jose, and then I want to get to my guy Greg real quick, and then I'm gonna come to you, Ben. What's up, Jose?
So I see what you guys are saying about the Suns possibly getting that first quarter. It just, to me, it seems like too much of an easy bet. I mean, I'm not going to touch that first quarter. I'm definitely betting this game, but to me, this is going to be more of a live action type of game. I'm going to watch it, see what's going on, and then put my bet in from there. I just can't trust, honestly, either team. I know the Pelicans beat them big already, but, injuries, revenge factors. I don't know, bro. I'd rather just watch this game from the beginning, see what's going on, get a feel for it, and then see what I want to bet at that point. And that's the good thing about the books out here is that you could bet everything. It's not just the totals and the sides. You could even bet player props live. So
yeah,
I'm just going to watch it and go from there.
Love that look, Jose. I always forget to mention that. I do a lot of live betting too. And if you got a feel for the game, there's nothing wrong with just kind of waiting and getting a better line, especially if you want a favorite and they've struggled in the beginning of the game, so now you can get them at a better price. So love that you mentioned that, Jose. Never can talk anybody off of just playing the game live and seeing what the motivation is for each team or lack thereof. So love that look too, Jose.
And I look at it this way: if you're someone that's on the fence and you're like, oh, I don't know if I should take this or take that, but you like the game, then yeah, just watch it. That's what I love about live wagering. It's so much better sometimes. You know what I mean? So yep.
Yeah, for sure. Greg, what's going on, my guy? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I was just popping up because I just wanted to remind people that these teams play again on Saturday. So they play a lot of their stretch of the season, like all combined. So, like, you're going to see a lot of parity in what might happen. So just keep in mind that, like, even if you get the Suns, like, losing this one as well, they're going back to the crib next Saturday to play them. I was just kind of just jumping in to say that real fast. But I did all I did so far in NBA, though, I'll just go ahead and put it out. I did tweet it out. Is I did just a parlay with Heat and Blazers. I think Blazers come back off the win. They can match up very well with the Wolves team. And then I think the Heat can name their number, to be honest. But I'm not trusting them on the double-digit spread, so I'm just going to combine them. I got minus 152, and it was just 3 units for me. But that's really all I was coming up to say was more about the Suns game tonight for y'all. That they do play again. To keep that in mind.
The Suns play that game's tomorrow, right?
Yeah, but they play again. They play for the third time next week. So, like, they're going to see each other again.
Oh, you said again. Okay, got you. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, the 17th.
Yeah, they're gonna be seeing each other again real soon. So, just if people haven't, like, looked ahead in that into the season, like, just to keep in mind that they're going to be playing them again.
Yeah, that's sharp. That's real sharp, Greg, for sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that as well. So I could maybe the Pelicans get them both times in in New Orleans, and then they got to go to Phoenix, like Greg just said, next week, and maybe Phoenix get some revenge out there. Yeah, it's a really interesting rivalry now, though. I love it. I love how Jose Alvarado doesn't back down to Chris Paul. You gotta love Zion. Probably just kind of scratching and itching to want to be able to help his team last year when they lost. In the playoffs. In a series that they almost they could have got the upset last year. So love those that analysis and that game. I'm gonna definitely be tuned in for that one. Let me kick it to Ben. What's up, Ben?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
I got a couple things. Like, I haven't played anything yet, but like I've noticed some very, very interesting trends with guys that loot guards. I think it'd be safe to assume he's probably guarding Mitchell tonight if he plays, right?
Yeah, if Mitchell plays, I would say so.
So the guys that loot guards have been hitting their assist numbers like crazy because they're just passing the ball off, So I was trying to prepare this for when Dort was going to guard Morant the other day, and I was going to do probably the biggest bet of my year on Morant's assists the other day, but then Dort was obviously ruled out, so I didn't play it. But, I looked at ball-dominant guards that the kind of ball handler guards that Lou Dort's guarded this year. And when Dort guarded Luka, he had 10 assists. Luka averaged 8.7. When Dort guarded Drew Holiday, Drew had 13 assists. He's averaging 7.5. When they played the Knicks in that crazy, high-scoring game, the combination, and I used a combo for this one just because, like, Brunson got benched. So I said Brunson, Rose, and IQ combined for 16 assists. They only averaged together 11.5. Brown and Marcus Smart, got to 14 assists. They only averaged 11.3. Beal had 6 assists, averages 5.4. Morant had 11, averages 7.5. You get it, right? Like, all these guys are hitting their assist numbers like crazy. And then you look at Donovan Mitchell's history versus Dort. He's only gone over 22 points against Dort one time in 6 games, and that was when he was, with Utah, when really nobody else was really scoring the ball. Like, he's got guys that he can kind of, pass the ball off to. I think Mitchell's got some pretty favorable road versus home splits. Like, he doesn't average quite as many points at home too. So possible Donovan Mitchell under on points and maybe over on assists once we get lines later. I think it's going to be a pretty good look. And the other one, I said it yesterday about Ben Mathurin against Washington crushing his line. I think he hit it in the third quarter yesterday. Washington struggles with these athletic wing players. I think Paul George might go nuts today against them. So I haven't seen any lines yet. It's a little early for me to place it with all this injury manipulation stuff. I'm trying to do my best.
Hey man, you're in the car. I can't hear a goddamn thing you're saying.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit better, Ben.
I'm sorry. Here, wait. Let me try. Is that better now?
Oh, that's a lot better.
Way better.
Okay, there we go. It was something to do with my my speaker on my phone. I think Paul George might go crazy today because Washington's just constantly proven that they can't handle these athletic wing players who can get a bucket. Mathurin hit his line in the third quarter yesterday. I could very easily see Paul George doing the same thing, especially that plays into everybody who was kind of talking about John Wall assists. I think those two obviously could correlate very well.
Okay, so PG points and maybe John Wall assists too.
Yeah. Just if we think Wall's going to assist, he's got to pass to someone, and we know that the best matchup advantage that they're going to have is with Paul George on the wing against whoever Washington tries to throw at him, it just probably ain't going to work. I mean, if Matherin's going for 18 3/4, you know, it might get ugly with Paul George. We'll see.
Okay. I can see it, man. Yeah, injury news is at an all-time significance, you know, in that one. We got to figure out what's going on in that game before I feel like I could comfortably play it. What else y'all got? Anything else? Anybody else got plays? Anybody else got question, a thought about the slate? Anybody want to throw anything else out?
Hey, Chris, who's going to play center for the Nets with Claxton?
Your guess is better than mine, honestly. Watanabe, I have no idea. I don't even know what the rest of that roster even looks like at the center position.
Because if we get a motivated backup against Miles Turner, that could be an easy cash too.
If Miles Turner plays, I know he played yesterday, but you know
that's a good point too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Man, I don't know, man. That game is probably like a throwaway. I think I'm happy that I took the Pacers money line, but I'm not quite sure if I'm being honest, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. That's an interesting question, though. Anything else you guys got? Let's see.
Last thing I'm looking at is Denver totals, either first half or 14 total against this Utah Jazz defense. It seems to just be getting worse and worse. So that's what I'm gonna take a look at that. But I won't have too much today. No more than 4 or 5 plays, and I'm typically high volume.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh wait, I do got one more thing. This ain't my play, but Cam and I have been messaging back and forth, just talking about the slate sometimes. He's been targeting Jamal Murray, like Jamal Murray's gonna be guarded. I guess they've been going off against him. I think Clarkson's probably a good look today, just kind of in that same mold as someone who's gonna probably give Jamal Murray a lot of problems. Cam would have wanted me to share that because I think he's on that.
Okay. Let's see. So I could see that too. I could definitely see that. Let me see. I'm trying to look.
Especially after getting tossed late last game, I think he comes out like real motivated.
Yeah. So shout out to KC. She said Deron Sharp, he is gonna be starting at center. I forgot all about him. He only 6'9", but he's gonna be starting at center for the Brooklyn Nets most likely today. They also still got Kessler Edwards, Markieff Morris, I think, is still available to play. Cam Thomas, Watanabe, Sumner, and Patty Mills. David Duke Johnson. I don't know, man. I think they got about 7 players.
Damn summer league game.
Yeah, pretty much. And Cam Thomas went crazy in the summer league too. Just FYI. I like Cam Thomas. David, what's going on, bro? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Chris?
How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for the platform to speak on this. But speaking on the John Wall, he's starting today for Reggie, and this is gonna be the first time he start against his old team. So like that 15.5, it might look too high, but like I think he still get it.
You think he scored 16 today?
Yeah, I think so.
Back at the crib?
I think so.
Okay.
First time starting, you got to prove why you starter, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Or just points and assists.
How you doing, Chris? Thanks for having the show. I got to play. It ain't really my play. One of my friends plays. Like about 3 of my friends are on it. But I'm taking the Golden State Warriors and Celtics under. The Celtics 3-game win streak, won 8 of the last 9. 4.
Snaps, we can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Oh, I said I gotta play. About 3 of my friends are on this play. It ain't really my play, but you guys might like to play. The Celtics and the Suns under. I think it's a good play, man. Just lock it in, book it.
Okay. No analysis, just book it. I'm already on the under anyway, so I like it, Casey. I like it a lot. Best of luck to whoever gave that play out, man. I think I think they're gonna cash that play. I like the under a lot, even though the total keep going up. So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. What else you guys got? Anybody got anything else? I know there's a couple requests that dropped down.
And for the Brooklyn game, I like De'Aaron Sharp. He just got called up from the G League last game. He played only like 15 minutes, but he played good. And I think the whole Nets roster, they just trying to like get their like value up, so maybe they could trade him by the deadline. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if anybody just have like 30, you know, whether it be Cam, whether it be Edwards, just so I'm probably looking at De'Aaron Sharp.
Okay. Yeah, I made mention of his name too. So yeah, I can see it, especially if
Probably a
double. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, somebody got to get some rebounds. Hopefully, they miss enough shots. You know, the Pacers miss enough shots for him to get to 10 rebounds.
We gotta look who's in for the Pacers too, though. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
All right,
sure.
Thanks.
Absolutely, bro. Best of luck to you, man. Best of luck to you. Let's see. Let me get Big Tony up real quick. I got some time today, as y'all can clearly tell. See what Tony on.
Yo, what's up, Chris? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Happy Saturday. I don't have anything official, but just going off of a few, historical things I've seen happen. I'm probably gonna look to take Luka triple double against the Bulls, just because whoever plays the Bulls seems like they can do whatever they want. And Luka usually coming off a back to back, he seems to kind of facilitate more and triple double chase instead of going for his points. And then also another look I want to look into once they drop the line is Buddy Hield, maybe a watered down triple double, like 6 assists, 6 rebounds. Looking on how he played the Nets before, he played him pretty well. He almost got a triple double in the first outing. He got he covered the points, obviously, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. And I know anything over 6 assists is going to be pretty large. So nothing official, just something I'm going to look maybe water him down.
Okay. Okay, I can see it, son.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that. But right on, man. Appreciate you for having us up.
Absolutely, bro. Anytime. Let me get to Rich J. Yo, Rich J, can you hear me? I'm taking that as a no. Rich J, can you hear me? If so, bro, the floor is yours. Look like you connected.
Oh, can you hear me, bro? My mic was off. My bad.
Yeah, nah, you good. What's going on? I can hear you.
I was just, you don't think Joker gonna eat tonight? Like, I don't really think nobody can stop him on Utah for real.
Yeah, no, I talked.
Rudy Gobert did last night.
Right, no. I like his matchup today a lot, man. You know, looking at that Jazz team, they give up a lot of points in the paint. They typically try to run teams off the 3-point line. So I do like him. What you thinking about playing? I didn't lock anything in. What you thinking about playing? His points?
I would just say it's like points, or maybe points and rebounds. I know, like, in the beginning of the season, he played them, but, like, I don't know what was going on, but he been a little more aggressive as late. I know in the beginning, like, he had, like, I think he had, like, 9 points one game, but I feel like he more aggressive now.
Yeah, so he was at 23.5 the other day in that Portland game. They got him up to 25.5 now. So I think the line's probably pretty sharp because we know he also likes to distribute the ball as well. And it's really, it just depends on how much, the other guys are able to score the ball. If Jamal Murray is having an off day or Aaron Gordon is having an off day, KCP not making threes, then you see Jokic try to be more aggressive. But if those guys are making shots, then he's fine with having 11 or 12 points. He's definitely not a selfish player. Until he just kind of goes out there to win. I think a lot of what happened in the last game had to do with them, being on I think it was a 3-game losing streak. So I think primetime spot though. I just don't know if I get there with his points at 25.5 when it might not necessarily be needed, especially with Lauri Markkanen, with Mike Conley being ruled out. Don't know the status of Lauri Markkanen tonight. So it may be needed, maybe not. I'm not 100% sure.
So maybe rebounds may be the safest bet then.
Rebounds at 11.5. I could see him getting there. Yeah, I can see him getting there.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Stesky, let me kick it to you, bro. What's going on? How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm all right, bro. Trying to make these casts real quick.
I hear that. What you want today?
I was waiting on the mental news, but I was leaning the first quarter over for the Cavs OKC game. Last year I lost a lot of money taking unders on back-to-backs because I thought the opposite. But this year I finally caught up to the trend of back-to-backs leaning over. So
in the first quarter specifically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just over in general, but I like first quarter over or first half over. I gotta wait on the Mitchell news. But
if Mitchell in, you taking the over or you gonna stay off of it?
If Mitchell is in, I'm taking the over.
You gonna take the over? Team total over or both teams over collectively?
I like the Cavs team total over because the way they just lost last night. I think they're gonna come out. They're gonna come out hot.
Bounce back spot. Okay. I couldn't talk you off of that. I couldn't talk you off of that at all. Especially if you get Donovan Mitchell back in, and we find out that injury isn't anything that's lingering. I do think that some regression to the mean should happen for them after not scoring a lot of points yesterday. JB Bickerstaff he was pissed off yesterday. I watched the post-game interview and he talked about how bad that offense looked and how stagnant it was and how they weren't getting into the sets that he wanted them to be in. So I could see that, bro. Could absolutely see that.
Hey, Chris, you said you think Clay's going to struggle today, right?
I said it wouldn't surprise me if Clay struggled today. I think I don't know if he necessarily going to struggle, but I do think that Boston does a really good job of being able to switch all in pick and rolls. And the way that we see Draymond, with them handoffs, I feel like Boston is a team that they switch everything too. And I do expect them to. I expect Clay to have less field goal attempts, put it like that, in today's action. And we know if Clay can get hot at home any given day, but I don't expect him to get that hot today against this Boston team.
So Clay's averaging 18 points per game this year at home, shooting under 40% from the floor, and his points are sitting at 20.5.
Yep, I think I'd be looking towards. Well, you know what, Ben? You know what? I think a tad bit of that is maybe a point and a half of that is that they don't have Wiggins in the game today. So somebody gonna have to make up for the scoring because Wiggins, as good as he is defensively, he also is averaging about 16, 15, 17 points a game. So
are they gonna start Clay at the 3 and play Poole at the 2?
I don't think I think Poole probably still gonna come off the bench. But now I honestly have no idea. Honestly, I just know that Kuminga gonna get a lot more minutes. Looking at some of them the beat writers for the Golden State side, they said that Kuminga is gonna get some more playing time. If you take Jordan Poole and throw him into the starting lineup, then how do you stagger that lineup? So of course they've been doing the thing where they bring Draymond, they take Draymond out early so that they can bring him back in so he can play with the second unit. But who on the second unit gonna be able to score the ball if you put Jordan Poole back in the starting lineup?
No doubt.
Like then you kind of relying on Lamb, Moses Moody, right? Like Wiseman. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Dewey, I'm trying to get you connected, bro. My name is my name said that RotoWire got Poole starting. So maybe Poole is starting. If he's starting today, that's gonna be interesting if he is starting. And maybe he does start today. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Coach Kerr got it figured out how he gonna do the lineup. Dewey, can you hear me? Trying to get you connected. If not, that's cool.
Hey, yeah, shout out to y'all, man. Real quick, I just wanted to touch on. I like Halliburton over points assists. That shit has been cashing. We're gonna keep it going with that. Why not? I just see, a lot of points being scored. I see that. Brooklyn has a lot of their guys out. I'm waiting for the Cam Thomas props to drop. I'm in Vegas, so I don't see it. Maybe it's on FanDuel. I'm not sure, but if you're looking at that Brooklyn lineup, Cam Thomas has to be the first or second best scoring option on the team. So I definitely like his prop. Depending on what they put it at, I like his prop. That's all I wanted to share.
What's too high? What's too high for you, H80?
I really think he should get, I don't know, man. Too high might be like 22 and a half, 23 and a half. Even though I still think he could get 25. Who else is out there? Who's going to score?
Yeah.
He has to be the first scoring option or the second. So just all volume alone. And like you said earlier, Cam was cooking in the summer. We've seen games where Cam Thomas gets a lot of minutes and he balls out. So I think it's definitely a good look, depending on what they put that at.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree. I think, it's one thing to say that we like a line, but how you like that line up until where, like a lot of people like the Warriors today. I mean, a lot of people like the Celtics today, but if that line moved to 5, you still taking the Celtics? And that might not be the greatest example because I know people that probably will take the 5 with the Celtics, but my point is just that, we got to take everything to, to a certain extent. So that's why I asked you. I just wanted to know what your, what's the highest you think you would go up?
I got another question for you.
What's up, man?
So these backup kind of reserve starters today for Brooklyn, would you say they're kind of faster paced guys, like guys who like to play with pace and tempo?
I mean, I think the second string. I don't know, man. Honestly, I think I've never seen these set of guys on the floor together. Without KD, Kyrie, Ben Simmons, Seth. Like it's. I think maybe you probably just fall into the pace of the Indiana Pacers, especially with them being on the road, and it probably is a fast tempo, type game. And if you're slowing it down, what are you slowing it down for? You know what I mean? Like you're slowing it down so you can get the ball to who? Who you want to isolate on the wing? Like who you dumping the ball to down in the paint? So I guess that would kind of lead me to the higher, faster paced game, Ben. Yeah. All right. Anything else? Anybody else got anything? Let me see if I can get Trash Bang up here. Before we get up out of here. I've been on him for about like an hour and a half now. Is that Trash Bandicoot? What's going on, bro? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
All right, so something I've been looking at that was pretty interesting is John Wall. John Wall threes is plus money at 1.5. It was at plus 186 a minute ago. It just went to plus 168 over the last 3 games. I think Reggie Jackson was getting 30, 32 minutes. John Wall coming in around 20, averaging around 20 minutes a game. I like him taking a lot more shots, getting a lot more volume tonight. Probably getting up towards that 30 minutes played tonight. So it's gonna be on him to like take some big shots. No Norman Powell, no Reggie Jackson. Terrence Mann, game time decision. So I've been looking at that heavy tonight.
Yeah. So what's your favorite line? You want his threes or his points or what you want?
I like it. I'm gonna sprinkle some on that threes.
The over 1.5.
He takes about 6 of them a game.
John Wall taking 6 threes a game?
I mean, I've been looking like he's taking around between 4 and 6 a game.
Okay.
Washington Wizards give up 37.5% percentage for their opponent's 3 points. So they're giving up shots. And if he's willing to take them, I think he can hit 2 of them tonight.
Okay, yeah, I can see it. I'm looking at his game log now. It looks like he's made 3 of his last about 9 games. But you can kind of throw that stuff out the window sometimes when it is a homecoming. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. The volume gonna be there too. He'll get increased minutes, increased usage today. With no Reggie Jackson for sure, be at the helm of this offense. So couldn't talk you off of that one, my guy. I hope you cash it too, Trash.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely, bro. Same to you. Let's see. Anybody else? Any other speakers got anything else they want to add real quick before I go over my officials and we get up out of here? Going once, Vaughn, Ben, Joey, Josh, Greg. If not, that's cool. So I talked about the Pacers money line. Kind of indifferent on that play right now. I mean, they should win the game, but we've seen, the injured player theory. I guess when you got a whole injured player starting five, that can, change up everything. But I did play the Pacers on the money line before the show started. And I also played the Thunder and the Cavs under the 224. Still waiting on Donovan Mitchell and Kevin Love news in that one. And then the Celtics minus 2.5, and the total under the 235. Love the total at under 237 as well. Those are the official plays. I do want to find like one or two player props that I like, but I just haven't gotten there yet today. So that's what I got for you guys. Best of luck on your action. Back tomorrow to break down the Sunday slate. So look forward to a link for that show as well. So I'm out, man. Best of luck to you guys today.